everyone, today I'll be going over my how-to guide on fishing in the zombie apocalypse or any other survival situation. Here we see the table of contents, which basically lays out the different sections in this how-to guide and their corresponding page number. On page 1, we have the introduction, which does a great job at providing an overview for the audience. In this case, the audience is potential survivors. Now, I won't be going over this whole introduction, but I want to read a few key points as if I'm talking to the potential survivalists. This how-to guide will show you 2 strategies for catching fish in the zombie apocalypse or any other survival situation. Whether you're being chased by bloodthirsty zombies or a hurricane has destroyed civilization, this guide will be just as useful to you. These 2 strategies have been proven for success in North America, and they will assume you do not have any fishing hooks or minimal supplies, but instead must rely on the environment around you and your bare hands to find success. I hope that you make use of these strategies to prevent starvation, and I hope you keep this guide handy in the future. On pages 2 and 3, I've comprised a list of the most common dangers in North America. I'm not going to read all of the content, but I will list them out. Animals, rough terrain, weather, illness, and of course zombies are the primary threats to a person in a survival situation like this. On page 4, we have an equipment and tools list. Again, I'm not going to elaborate on each of these, but I will list them out, starting with the tools. They're going to need a knife, a walking stick, netting, and fire. And as far as equipment goes, they're going to need a rain jacket, boots, jeans, tarp, and a sleeping bag. On page 5, we have what is basically an overview of later sections to come, Fishing Strategy 1 and Fishing Strategy 2, as well as we have a list of the types of fish these people will be trying to catch: bluegill, trout, bass, and catfish. And it also includes an important note that there are virtually no poisonous fish in inland North America. So these people won't have to worry if they catch a fish and don't know what type of fish it is. What's important is it will be edible and nutritious for them. On page 6, we have Fishing Strategy 1, which utilizes the M-trap method. Some pros and cons associated with this would be easy setup, relatively light preparation. The survivalist can set up multiple traps, and they will only have to go into knee-deep water. Some cons associated with this method is it is not the most effective trap. Generally, they will be catching smaller fish, and it will require bait. Now, on pages 7 and 8, this how-to guide elaborates a lot more on how to set up and bait this trap, but I won't be going over that in detail. Starting on page 9, we have Fishing Strategy 2, which utilizes the net tactic. Again, I'll be going over the pros and cons associated with this method, but unfortunately I won't have time to delve deep into how to set up this method, which is on pages 10 and 11. So, with that being said, the pros associated with this method are generally the survivalist will be catching larger fish, it's shorter wait times, bait is not necessary, it is more sustainable, they can catch multiple fish at a time. The disadvantages or the cons associated are that it requires more energy to set up, it is limited to rivers and creeks, and it is more difficult to catch the fish. As the video rolls over the works cited page in the back cover, I'd like to give a special thanks to those from Outer Darkness Incorporated for their time today and their consideration of this zombie zine.